Welcome to another video from 55 degrees north. It's time for episode 39 of your fortnightly Newcastle upon Tyne construction and restoration update. Coming up in this week's video, we'll be visiting all the usual sites, including Pottery Lane, Pilgrim Place and many more exciting developments happening around the city. Plus, I've got a detailed update on how the restoration of the iconic Tyne Bridge is progressing, so make sure you stay tuned for that. There's plenty to cover, so let's dive right in and see what's happening across Newcastle. As usual, we're starting off at the site of the former General Hospital, the future home of the brand new Health and Innovation neighbourhood. It's been quite a journey following this transformation, and today's update marks the end of one big chapter, the demolition phase. As you can see, most of the demolition work is now complete. What's left are piles of crushed material spread across different areas of the site, the remains of what once stood here. If you look closely, you'll notice that all the heavy plant equipment has now been removed. The diggers, the crushing machine, everything's gone. In their place, some wooden fencing has been put up along the roadways to prevent people from parking on the land, keeping the area secure and tidy as preparations move forward. So that's it for now. My last visit until the construction phase officially kicks off. I'll still pop back from time to time to share any updates and to look to see if the construction phase has finally got underway. I really hope you've enjoyed following along with the demolition stage of this huge project over the past few months. We are now down at the site of the brand new Unite Students Accommodation here on Leazes Park Road. Now, from the front, it might not look like a whole lot has changed, but trust me, there's more going on than meets the eye, so let's take a closer look. From this angle, it doesn't seem like much work has been done. The facade looks pretty similar to the last update, but once we move round the back, the real progress starts to show. Yeah, round at the back, you can see there's been a lot of development, especially on the upper floors. Most of the window frames are now in place, with just a few areas near the bottom still waiting to be completed. If you look through this gap here, near the top, you can actually see some of the internal walls starting to take shape. The building's really beginning to come together inside. Up on the scaffolding, you'll spot quite a few packs of insulation just waiting to be fitted to the walls. So it looks like the next big job is going to be getting all of that installed. And if you peek through another gap further up, you can see what looks like it's going to be a corridor. You can almost start to imagine how the layout's going to feel once it's finished. Moving down to the old Georgian building at the front, all of the windows have now been fitted along the side and around the corner too. The upper floors are fully done with just 2 windows left to install on ground level. And finally, looking from Leazes Park Road itself, it's a pretty similar story here. All of the window frames are now fitted right along this side, matching the progress we've seen at the back. So that's the latest look at the Unite Students Development on Leazes Park Road. We are now down at Pottery Lane, checking on their progress of the brand new apartment blocks being built by Olympian Homes. As usual, we're starting up here on the Redcliffe Bridge, the best spot to get a full view across the entire construction site. As you can see, most of the development is still wrapped in scaffolding, but there's been a lot of progress since our last visit. Let's head in for a closer look and see what's new this week. Starting at the back of the building, there's still plenty of brickwork underway on both Block 1 and Block 2. But if you look closely at the top of Block 1, you can spot the first glimpse of what the finished building will look like. The scaffolding has started to come down up there, revealing some of the final exterior. Further down you can see the team putting the finishing touches on sections of brickwork. Great to see that detailed work coming together. Now, moving down onto Pottery Lane itself for a closer look at ground level. Peeking through the gap at Block 1, we can see some of the internal fixtures and fittings starting to go in. There's still a lot of brickwork happening at the front, but along the ground floor we can now see some louvered panels fitted in place, a nice detail that's really starting to shape the final look. Between the two blocks there's plenty of building materials stacked and ready to go, pallets of bricks, insulation and all sorts of gear waiting to be used. Over at block 2, the brickwork is climbing fast up the building. The top floors are still getting their insulation fitted, and you can spot a lot of aluminium frames likely for the internal wall structures once everything is sealed up. And finally, at the far end of block 2, some doors have started being fitted, another sign that things are moving quickly towards its completion. So that's the latest from Pottery Lane this week. We're definitely starting to see these buildings take shape, with real progress both inside and out. Moving down to Collier Square, where the two new office blocks, part of the Pilgrim Place development, are quickly taking shape. Every week the site is transforming right before our eyes, with the steel frames rising higher and higher. So let's take a closer look. Starting at the bottom end of the site, you can really see the progress. The floors are climbing rapidly each week. It's amazing how fast things are moving here. Looking into the steel framework, several of those large support bars are still in place, keeping everything steady as the next levels go up. And if you look up, you'll spot the steel girders rising towards what I'm calling core lift shaft number 3. It's already reaching impressive heights. Zooming inside, we can get a glimpse of what's going on in the underground car park. A bit further up, the concrete base we saw in the last update now has a temporary lift installed, making it much easier for workers to move between floors. Looking up Warwick Street, the steel structure continues to climb higher and higher towards its final height. You can almost start to imagine how the finished building will dominate this part of the skyline. Inside, the first internal walls are starting to take shape, a real sign that interior work is beginning. And if you look closely, you'll see doors have already been fitted onto the core lift shafts at ground floor level. Swinging around the back, you get an even better view of how high those steel girders have grown since the last video, and across the other side you can still spot a few of those orange support beams in place, holding everything steady as construction continues. Week by week, Pilgrim Place development is reaching new heights. Quite literally, it's incredible to see how quickly this part of Collier Square is changing. Moving down to the heart of the city centre, we've got some serious progress to check out. The new His Majesty's Revenue and Customs Office block, one of the biggest building projects in the city, is edging closer to completion every single week. On the John Dobson Street side, the pavement works are almost done. Just one small section before the planters left to finish. But here's something interesting. If you look closely at the wall, you'll spot the lyrics to the Bladen races. And one of our sharp-eyed viewers pointed out there might just be a mistake. It says, passing the folks along the road. But it should be along the road. That's how it's said in proper Geordie. So are they trying to tidy up the Geordie dialect? Or was it just a simple typo that slipped through? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Now over on the New Bridge Street side, things are looking pretty much complete. Or at least they were. Because hold on, they're back, lifting up some of the paving stones again and changing the layout. Looks like they're adding more inspection hatches. Just when you think it's finished, there's always one more tweak. Round on the Pilgrim Street side, it's basically in the clean-up phase now. Skips are being filled, last bits of wood are going onto the seating, and it's all looking neat and tidy, ready for the big handover. And finally, round on Market Street, not much has changed since the last update. It's all cleaned up, tidy, and just one lone storage container left at the bottom, waiting to be taken away. So there you have it. The HMRC building is almost ready to be handed over. A few last minute fixes, a little paving drama, and maybe a Geordie language debate thrown in for good measure. Now, checking in on the latest progress at the brand new Northumberland Space Skills and Technology Centre here on Ellison Place. And wow, things are really starting to take shape. Looking from across the road, you can really see how much has changed since our last visit. The lower floors are now taking full shape, with cladding and glass almost completely finished along the bottom two levels. That sleek modern look is really starting to shine through. Moving around to the far side, the transformation continues. You can see that more glass has climbed up the structure, reaching right up to the third floor. Since the last update, it's amazing how fast this building is progressing. From the side elevation, the detail really stands out. The cladding and glazing are now mostly complete on the ground and first floors. The combination of glass and metal gives it a futuristic edge, fitting for a cutting-edge space technology centre. And when you look from the opposite side, you get a great sense of just how much progress has been made overall. The building's form is really coming together now. Circling around to the other side, it's the same story here. More glass and cladding rising rapidly up the steel framework. And check this out, there are stacks of prefabricated glass panels on pallets just waiting to be installed. No doubt the next update will see even more of the sleek facade complete. So that's the latest look at the Northumberland Space Skills and Technology Centre. A fantastic addition to the city skyline and a real hub for innovation taking shape right before our eyes. And now for a roundup of some of the other projects going on in the city right now. First up, Northumberland Street, the heart of Newcastle's shopping district, and let's be honest, the scene of a lot of frustration lately. Since the massive regeneration project kicked off back in December 2023, businesses, shoppers and city centre workers have all had to navigate heavy disruption. But there's finally some good news. The latest update from Newcastle City Council says the work should be completed within 6 months. The council says the goal is to transform Northumberland Street into a vibrant, welcoming space that will serve the city proud for generations to come. That said, if you were hoping for a clear walkway this Christmas, think again. The central section of the street will stay mostly cordoned off for paving work during the festive period. Next up, the saga of the new stack continues. Yep, work is still ongoing, and to be honest, it doesn't look like we'll see those doors open this November, but hey, you never say never. We'll keep an eye on it and let you know the moment an opening date is confirmed. And finally, over at the Gotham Hotel, work is still very much in progress. Crews are tidying up the site with plenty of cleaning happening and new planters appearing outside. There's also a bit of finishing work around the door area at the bottom to finish, a nice touch to bring it all together. So that's your quick city roundup, a mix of slow progress and new life across Newcastle. Now for the quick update of the Tyne Bridge restoration, something I mentioned right at the start of the video. Work on our iconic Tyne Bridge is moving full steam ahead. This November marks a major milestone. The project's next big phase has officially begun. Crews will be installing scaffolding along the east footway, getting everything ready for the big repairs and repainting work that's kicking off next year. Here's what will be happening behind the scenes. Restoration work will still continue behind the scaffolding on the west footway. Next year, the focus will shift to the east footway as the side gets its turn for repairs. And don't worry, a brand new scaffold walkway will be in place to keep pedestrians safe while all the action continues above and around them. It's a huge job, but every step brings us closer to seeing the Tyne Bridge fully restored and shining again over the river. So just before I wrap this week's video up, I'd love to hear what you think. So drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts on all the construction going on around the city right now. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of my future updates. A massive thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, right here on 55 Degrees North.